Good morning. Welcome back to another edition of Balance Bites. I am excited to be with you on today, where we're going to be talking about doing a mid year check in. This is a process that I just recently went through myself over the weekend in preparation for planning for the second half of 2024 or Q3. I can't believe that on Monday, we will be officially in the second half of the year. This first 6 months has just flown by. And anyway, I'm excited to be sharing with you on today. So, I'm going to be going over kind of my own personal mid year assessment process, as well as some of the things that I found from my assessment and the pivots that I'm making as a result of that. And then I want to encourage you with some strategies on how you too can do your own so that you can set yourself up for success for the remaining part of this year. You still have six months to go. So even if you are not where you desire to be right now, there is still time for you to turn things around. You may need to adjust the level of your activity, or you may need to adjust your expectations. The truth here is that with that period of assessment, taking the time out to look at where you are versus where you said you wanted to be at this time. Are you on track? Are you off track? Can really help you to make some adjustments and re-engage, right? Re-engage so that you can achieve the things that you so desire. Now, real quickly, I'm going to just double check. Oh, shoot, I forgot. I put my phone on a focus session, and so now I can't get to LinkedIn on my phone. Okay. Well, anyway, for some reason, I can't. Oh, gosh. For some reason, I can't see the comments on LinkedIn. and and so I want to give opportunity. I want to give space for you all to ask questions. So let me see. Okay, I turned it off. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone here really quickly. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean for this to take so long. All right, there we go. Pull it up and then I can mute it. All right, we're good to go. Now I'll be able to see if and when comments pop up. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into kind of what my personal mid-year assessment process was like. Now, there's all kinds of different ways that you can go through an assessment. You can do journaling, you could do some evaluation by getting feedback from team members. It just really depends on what your specific goals were that you set for the new year. Maybe you have some tracking, some metrics, a spreadsheet, or some tool that you use to track your activity and your progress. Whatever that is, you want to set a time, set an appointment with yourself, give yourself at least 30 minutes. An hour is better, but give yourself at least 30 minutes to do a review of kind of all the information, all the metrics that you have been tracking so that you can evaluate where you are in that process. Right. So, what I did was I reviewed my metrics. Well, let me tell you what some of my goals were um, with a little bit, a brief background. I took off the last half of 2023 because I was caring for my father who has dementia, and his memory loss had declined to a point where he was really needing more of my care. I'd been taking care of him for, at that point, a little over a year. And he had a major decline, which was really requiring so much more of my time, energy, and attention. And being able, I needed to be really flexible with my time. I was still doing a little bit of work. I had a couple clients that I was still supporting, but I wasn't actively seeking any new business because I just didn't have capacity. I never knew what my days were going to look like. Plus, it was emotionally and physically exhausting to show up for him. So it just made sense for me to really just kind of focus on serving the clients that I had and taking care of him and self. Right. So I moved him into a facility at the end of last year. And so I started 2024 with the mindset that I was going to restart my business as if it I were starting from scratch, like as if I was starting a brand new business. And so my goal for the first quarter was really to get clear, to do some strategic planning, right? My That is my zone of genius, right? My zone of genius is strategic planning, and productivity, time management, all that stuff plays into strategy because in order for you to be productive, there's got to be a plan, there's got to be strategy behind that. So that's really where my gifting is. So I spent Q1 really focusing on who do I want to serve, doing market research, getting clear on what my offers would be, and the different phases that I wanted to incorporate into the year, right? Like where I wanted to be at the different stages and phases of the year. So I did that in Q1. Q2 was really taking that information that I gathered in Q1 and starting to implement that so that I can kind of see how um, the content ideas that I came up with based on that target audience, how they played out. And part of that is this, my balance bites, because I was doing weekly live streams, but I realized through that market research process that my clients are busy. My ideal clients are busy. They don't have time to sit and listen to a 30, 45-minute live stream. They need bite-sized nuggets that they can take and start to implement their um, into their day so that they can get things done. And that's when I started Balanced Bites. Right? Shortened it to 15 minutes or less. And I have to warn you, this one is going to be a little bit longer than usual, just because of the nature of what I'm talking about. Right. So that's why I shifted to doing these 15-minute live streams where I can get you some actionable content, some actionable strategies and tips that you can start to implement into your day, into your life, into your schedule right now, and see the results, see the impact. So that was my focus for Q2, is really starting to show up with different types of content, speaking on specific topics that I know are going to hit to the heart of the people that I desire to reach, and sharing ways that you can work with me. Well, I've been evaluating, right? During my assessment process, I evaluated the impact of these live streams that I've been doing. How many people are actually tuning in live? How many people are engaging with the live stream? Who's commenting, who's coming back and asking questions or sliding into my DMs wanting to work with me. And what I realized is the nature of live streaming, specifically on platforms like LinkedIn or YouTube, you really need to have longer format live streams in order to grab an audience. My 15 minutes live streams aren't seeing the live impact that I would like to see. And because of the nature of the algorithm, people may or may not necessarily see the live stream in their feed to even go back and watch the replay. So I've played with scheduling them in advance and just doing them spur the moment like I am now. And what has happened is I found that, you know, this live streaming format, just really isn't conducive for the impact that I want. Because listen, if what good is it for me to create valuable content if no one ever sees it? It's pointless. I'm wasting my time. I'm spinning my wheels, right? That's what this process of assessment is about. It is about evaluating what it is that you're doing, how effective it is. Is it moving you in the direction? Is it moving you in the direction of your goals? Are you creating some momentum to getting where you desire to be or not? And if not, what could be the reasons why? Maybe you need to increase the level of activity. Maybe you need to adjust how you do the things that you're doing. I don't know for you. But if you don't go through the process then of assessing, then and then making the necessary adjustments, then it doesn't matter. I want to share with you this quote really quickly. You have to be fast on your feet and adaptive, or else a strategy is useless. I don't care how great your strategy is if you don't go through a process on a regular basis of assessing the strategy, assessing the effectiveness of it, and then making those adjustments, being fast on your feet, right? I think what I think about it, talking about pivoting, right? If you think about in not baseball, basketball, right? Players will have the ball and they're dribbling, and or maybe they're holding it in their hands and they're pivoting. I'm too close to my thing here. I keep hitting it, right? They're pivoting, right? Trying to decide, looking for the best avenue for them to move towards the goal so that they can hit, so they can make the basket, so they can score the point. That's how we have to be as it relates to our strategy, the implementation of the plan that we create for our goals. And you can do this through the process of assessing, right? So, again, the process that I went through is really assessing, taking the time to ask myself questions. First of all, am I following through with the plan that laid out? Secondly, am am I getting the results that I desired from the plan? If not, what could the issues be? How can I adjust? How can I make changes to the way that I carry out the plan so that I can still achieve the goal? These are questions that you want to ask yourself in this mid-year assessment process. Now, I'm calling it a mid-year assessment process. I really encourage you to do this on a quarterly basis, and then also on a weekly basis in a much smaller on a much smaller scale. Some key areas you want to think about when you are going through your assessment process is not just your goals, but how productive are you being? I had really high hopes for how much I was going to be able to accomplish on a day to day basis inside of my business. However, I'm still dealing with some remnants of caring for my father. I'm still trying to adjust to one. I ended up moving a couple months into the year. Now I'm still trying to, I was trying to clear out his house, move all the things out of his home so that I could then be able to put the house on the market, which it's supposed to go to market this week, right? I had a lot of things that other things, personal things that were vying for my attention and were kind of uh, sucking my capacity a little bit. And so you want to assess your productivity levels. You want to assess your work life balance. Are you spending enough time doing things that light your soul on fire, that fill you up, that bring you joy, in addition to the things that you need to be doing in order to achieve your career or business goals? You also want to evaluate your well being. right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, all spheres of your life, you want to assess your well being. Because if you are unwell in a particular area, you need to make some adjustments there so that you can be holistically well and not just simply well in one aspect of your life. And the reason why this is so significant is because if you are unwell in one area of your life, it will impact all areas of your life. Think about it this way. If you've ever had any type of sickness or pain, like toothache, if you've ever had a toothache, the pain is in one area of your body. However, it impacts your ability to focus. It impacts your ability to really be present and do the things that you need to do. Um, Pain also drains your energy, so it makes you more tired than usual because your body is trying to heal itself. There's so many different ways that one area can impact your ability to show up. So you want to also assess that wellness, right? So, like I said, one of the findings that I came across as it relates to these live streams is that they're too short to be effective as live streams. Now, I'm not going to stop producing video content. I'm just going to change the format. So this will be my last Balance Bites live stream. However, I will still post each Tuesday at 11. I'll still post a video. It'll just be a video of just a regular LinkedIn post with a video that shares whatever my topic is for the day. So it'll still be formatted and very similar to how I do the live streams. It'll just be a pre recorded video that's just posted. I feel like this will be able to have more impact and more people will be able to see it and engage with it. Now, of course, I've got some metrics that I'm going to be tracking and I will review those metrics on a regular basis to see the effectiveness if my hypothesis, if you will, is correct. Right? Um, do not be afraid to look at where you are. I think sometimes we want to bury our head in the sand and not really pay attention to, or how do I want to say this? We want to kind of ignore what is happening. We want to ignore the numbers. We want to ignore the metrics and just hope that if we keep plugging away, things will just work out for us. But this process of assessment is so important. We don't want to, you don't want to ignore that toothache and just think, oh, I'm going to keep on taking some Advil or some sort of pain meds and it's just going to go away. It will only get worse, right? But if you go through the process and go, hey, go to the dentist and let the dentist look at it and assess it, then you can fix the right problem. But if you ignore it, it's like, you're likely to find yourself in a place where maybe you end up doing more damage than good. Or you, instead of being able to do a small fix, now you've gotten so far down the line that it has to be a major overhaul and it requires a ton of resources, whether it's time, energy, and money for you to turn the situation around. That's why these assessments are so important, right? I want to, I know I've gone a little bit long, but I want to give you an opportunity. There's a few of you on here. So I do want to give you an opportunity. If you have any questions, about doing your own mid-year assessment or your own mid-year check-in, then I want to encourage you to drop those in the chat, drop those in the comment section, and I will, be happy to answer those. While you are doing that, I want to invite you to do a mid-year reset with me. I have partnered up with Angela Perry, who is a journaling mentor, and she and I are going to be hosting a LinkedIn Live event on Monday, July 1st at noon Eastern Standard Time. It'll be an audio event. All you need is some paper and a pen. We're also, or if you prefer to kind of type, we're going to be providing you with a digital PDF with the journaling prompts that we're going to use, and we're going to journal. We're going to get together and we're going to walk through the process of doing a mini assessment, a brief assessment to get you started, get you thinking about the things that you have already accomplished and where you want to go for the remaining part of the year. So that'll be on LinkedIn. There's a LinkedIn event, and that'll be an audio event on July 1st at noon Eastern Standard Time. I hope that you will be able to tune in. All right. Well, I don't see any questions in the comments or in the chat. Hopefully, I'm not missing anything. Um, but again, so what we covered really, I'll do a quick recap and then we'll close things out. So we started out by talking about why it's important for you to do a regular assessment, and then we got into kind of some tools and methods that you can use for the process of self-assessment, and then we talked about some of the key areas that you need to evaluate and how important it is for you to make the adjustments necessary to your goals, to your priorities, so that you can actually achieve the things that you set out to do. And I encourage you to do your own mid-year check-in, whether you join Angela and I for the mid-year reset on Monday, or you want to take kind of what I shared with you today and take a few minutes to sit down with some pen and paper and go through your own process, or your spreadsheet. If you track your metrics in a spreadsheet, I encourage you to go through that process of doing that. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today, and the live streams that we've done over the last several weeks, over the quarter. And I will still be doing live streams but they will not be on a weekly basis. They'll be longer masterclass because I love to teach. That is the thing that I enjoy doing the most. Matter of fact, I'll be teaching tomorrow. I totally forgot. I'm teaching a masterclass tomorrow on LinkedIn called the Command Your Calendar Masterclass. This is the 2.0 version of it. Again, it'll be at noon tomorrow. And actually, I'll be streaming it on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on YouTube. So whatever your platform or choice is, you can tune into that. We'll probably go about 90 minutes. I'll teach for a little over an hour and then give 15 minutes or so for Q&A. And then that'll be that. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. As always, take care of yourself and each other. And I'll see you again real soon. Have an amazing day, everyone.